Hey Divulge Gang, welcome back to Divulge Talk Show with me, your host, Mabandi. On today's Thursday Thoughts, we are going to be talking about cancel culture. However, before we delve into the topic, I'm proud to say that today's video is sponsored by a brand, or rather a business called SHONARISH that specializes in African print clothing and many more. So here's like a snippet or like a video of what the company is all about. SHONARISH is an apparel clothing business solely based on African designs and African prints. All their clothing is made from African material and fabric. Their designs are very chic and modern and range from kids to adults. SHONARISH aims to do away with the notion that Africans are poor and underprivileged. The business was established at the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic in March 2020. The business is run by Valentine and a few seamstresses and tailors, and their fabric and materials are 100% African quality. They do not only specialize in clothing, but they have incorporated home decor as well, like cushions, ornaments, and accessories. Hey guys, so cancel culture is the topic of today, and as usual I'm going to be having my notes. I'm going to be looking down and just reading what I have written down concerning cancel culture. So as usual, I like to start with a definition so that you guys can understand what cancel culture is, or rather what a specific topic is. So cancel culture refers to the mass withdrawal of support from public figures or celebrities who have done things that aren't socially accepted today. This practice of canceling or mass shaming often occurs on social media platforms such as Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. Right, so as usual, celebrities and influencers have opinions and they share their thoughts regarding topics or regarding anything that is related to their personal lives. Now, it happens that the mass media, which is us, you and I, we cancel them. In other words, we say shameful things. For example, if someone shares something regarding their religion or something that they believe in, and maybe I don't believe in that particular thing, I cancel this person. This is whereby I go into the comment section and then I say, oh my gosh, you're so lame, or you look so ugly, why don't you just cut your hair? All those kind of bad things. I am canceling this certain person because I feel like I don't agree with what they've done. I don't agree to what they are saying or any sort of thing, right? So we sort of use defamation strategies to go against whatever they might have done or whatever they might have said, especially if it's something that we do not agree. So I feel like it's like a defamation of character, because now we are sort of degrading this person, and sometimes we don't even realize how it's emotionally draining when we cancel these people, because sometimes they really open up out of the intention of just sharing their stories, or they really open up out of the intention of just expressing who they are. And because ABCD does not believe in whatever they are expressing, we now decide, this person doesn't know what she's doing, this person doesn't know what they're saying, and all those kind of things, right? I'm going to give a practical example. If one is racist or expresses racial statements on social media, he or she will be attacked, shamed, and cancelled immediately, because the mass media is totally against racism, and in most cases it is the black people who are socially attacked. No cap. Black people, in most cases, we are racially attacked. And in this case, I believe that it's not really a bad idea to cancel this person, because it's unfair, whereby Even as a black person, if I decide to say something bad about Indian people as an example, I kind of deserve to be cancelled because that's bad. However, there are times whereby we as the mass media cancel these people, and yet it's really unnecessary. So maybe you guys can see the difference that yes, if someone says really, like for example, if someone comes and says something about, oh, fat girls are lame, etc., skinny girls are the ish, that person kind of deserves to be cancelled because they are body shaming people. Now someone who is fat might feel degraded because now she feels, oh my gosh, I'm not good enough. Especially as public figures, they have an influence over people. Sometimes you realize that people fall for almost every single thing that they do, or they fall for almost every single thing that they say. So it's very important that people are careful, and it's also very important that sometimes people do need to be cancelled, especially if they say discriminative things, right? Another example, in 2013, I am going to put a picture of this lady. Her name is Justine Sacco. You guys can even research it on the internet. So she posted something quite offensive before boarding a flight to South Africa. This was in 2013, and she said, "Going to Africa, hope I don't get AIDS. Just kidding, I'm white." Within hours, she had lost a job and spent a year without being employed. People reacted and she was cancelled immediately. Now, in circumstances like that, you have to be cancelled because now you label Africa as the continent of HIV and AIDS. Of course, in South Africa, there is a high rate of people with HIV and AIDS, but it's not something that you need to say jokingly. On top of that, she also had some racial discrimination by saying, "I'm white." In other words, she's saying that any other race can get AIDS except the white race. I'm not trying to be racially biased or anything, but she got cancelled for saying all those kind of things. And you can see that she lost her job. For a period of 12 months, a year, she couldn't get employed. So can you see the repercussions of all these things that we see? That's why it's very important to just be careful on social media, really, because I'm going to be very real with you guys. That sometimes you feel like, oh, I'm just a normal person, I'm not a public figure, I'm not planning on being a public figure. However, life changes. For example, if I do something today, let's say I beat up a girl and she loses her teeth, and it's all over social media, right? And I'm not a public figure, but if it happens that one day something happens in my life and I get the spotlight, I would definitely get cancelled. So you can get cancelled for the things that you've done previously or the things that you can do right now, and that's something I'm going to look into later on into the video, right? So I wrote here that we are living in a world whereby when someone makes a wrong move, we decide we are done with them, right? However, the question is, should we separate the art from its artist? Now we're gonna look. Now I've arrived at a segment whereby should we now separate the art from its artist, right? For example, a musician. He's got great music, he sings, he does, people just love his music because it's like authentic. However, this particular person is arrogant or is doing the wrong things, getting cancelled. So is there a possibility that we can cancel this, so we can separate this person, the artist, from his or her art? So let's find out. I think the answer is yes and no. For some people, we can separate, but for some, we cannot. For example, a person can be very rude, aggressive, and mean. However, she might be working for an institution that serves the community. So in such a circumstance, you can't really separate the art from the art. No, you can, whereby if a person is working for an institute, let's say the World Health Organization as an example, or basically that, they do have projects or programs whereby they help the community. And then let's say someone is working in that organization and they are always doing bad stuff and they're always getting cancelled. I feel like we can separate this artist or this person from their work offline, whatever. However, not for a very long time, because I think people will get to an extent where they're like, you know what, WHO, this person really does a good thing and we really appreciate your services, but damn, she or he is such a bad person. She always says this bad stuff about people, you know, all those kind of things, and this person is always cancelled. So we can separate the art from its artist, but not for very long. And in most cases, however, I'd like to believe we totally cannot, because sometimes people might stop maybe listening to your music or reading your books, especially if you have a bad reputation, right? Yeah, and basically that's what I have to say about separating people from their art, especially if it's a public figure who's always arrogant and is constantly being cancelled by mass media. Because you get people who are constantly being cancelled, and you also need to look at them and be like, nah, this person actually has a problem. Sometimes we don't always have to blame the mass media. You do get people who just deserve to be cancelled, right? So on the Real Daytime, there's a lady called Amanda Seals, and this is what she said. Aside from cancel culture, we need to also invoke redemption culture. I think this comes in a place whereby when someone makes a mistake. I'll give an example with Ariana Grande. There was a time whereby she mentioned how much she hates America. So she went to a restaurant, if I'm not mistaken, she went to a restaurant and I think she didn't like what she got, whatever, and then she was just like, oh, I hate America, and instantly she was cancelled, right? But after that, because it was a mistake, I mean, you know, as people, sometimes it's not like when I say, yo, I hate South Africa, yes, yo, it's not like I hate the country, but sometimes it's just like trying to express maybe something bad that might have happened, and then maybe I get cancelled. But then she got forgiven, she apologized to the public that no, I'm sorry, etc., and then it died away. It was a mistake. So I think in such a case, someone like that does deserve redemption culture, just what Amanda Seals was talking about. Now let's look at R. Kelly. He doesn't deserve redemption culture, no matter what, because what he has done is totally unforgivable. So many women out there are damaged. So many women out there have bitterness, unforgiveness because of what he has done. And if you guys watch the news and you follow his story, you realize that so many bad things have happened. And how many times has R. Kelly been cancelled? He's been cancelled and is going to be cancelled and he'll forever be cancelled. I mean, even his YouTube stuff were taken down. Of course, you can still listen to his music, like they said, on like YouTube Music, but most of his content has been removed. That's like another level of being cancelled. So someone like that does not deserve redemption culture, or yeah, basically. So I don't know. So I just want you guys to know that no one is perfect. I know in some circumstances certain people really do deserve what they deserve, like R. Kelly, but in a case of someone like Ariana Grande, she didn't deserve to be cancelled forever because it was a mistake, right? However, redemption is quite important too. Sometimes we don't always have to cancel people, and people are there to just learn from their mistake. Now, cancel culture also holds people accountable for the bad things that they might have done in the past, regardless of who they are. Like I mentioned, I can do something today in 2021, and in the next 10 years, that thing can haunt me, because now people will be like, oh, you guys want to do this, you guys like her, but then this is what she did. She beat a girl up and this girl lost her teeth. And then I get cancelled immediately, and it's really bad. It's like celebrities who break up with their partners. They get cancelled for all those kind of things, or things that they've done when they were a teenager. You guys need to understand that the person you were at 15 is definitely not the person you are at 25. So I feel like people shouldn't be cancelled for that. But hey, we live in a world whereby people just feel like they can say whatever that they want, right? I want to give another example. A well-known celebrity in South Africa, his name is Jube, right? So after the accident, I'm pretty sure you guys know the story, he was cancelled. Like, he went to prison, etc. He got out and he was just cancelled. And during an interview with Somizi, on his show called Dinner at Somizi's, he talked about how no one wanted anything to do with him. Thus, from the people he helped previously to the ones who could have helped him to get back up on his feet, he was cancelled. And it happens, especially in his situation, whereby if you do something, but I feel like in his case, he served his time, guys. He apologized, and you can see he sincerely did what he had to do to try and get even the family to forgive him. So someone like that does deserve redemption culture. However, you do get people today still canceling the same person. Someone may be like, oh no, of course, someone died during that time, but if it was a situation whereby he did what he did and he ran away and they couldn't find him, etc, 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 then of course someone like that can be cancelled. But he was found, he went to prison, he served his time, and he still apologized and he did what he had to do just to get South Africa to forgive him again. But he mentioned how he just didn't receive that at the moment he came out of prison, and he was cancelled. So these are some of the things that these public figures, celebrities or influencers go through, and to be honest, it destroys their reputation and it definitely destroys their self-esteem. Now, another way people or public figures, another way they can be cancelled is by creating, whereby we as the mass media, we create a narrative, right? So we create a narrative and turn a subgroup against the celebrity. Now, I'm going to give this example. I know I'm giving so many examples because I want you guys to understand what I mean. There's a song by J. Cole called Snow on the Bluff. And he said, it's something about this queen's tone that's bothering me. Mtanabantu is just singing his song, he's making music, and certain people picked up that line. And guess what? People took that statement, changed it, and twisted it, called J. Cole a misogynist. I hope I am pronouncing this word properly. Misogynist or misogynist. And this is a person who dislikes, despises, or is strongly prejudiced or prejudiced against women, right? And people created a narrative that J. Cole is talking about black women, that they need to watch their tone, right? They need to shut up, they need to chill, they need to sit down. So people concluded that J. Cole hates black women. They just created a narrative. It's just, someone can say something today, and if I have like some kind of influence, I can be like, guys, did you see what this and this said? I think this is what he means. And someone might be like, oh yeah, for real. And then that person will tell another person, and then a subgroup, or rather a group of people, we will all just go and attack this public figure because I just created a narrative. And you guys will be surprised that that is not even what J. Cole meant. So that's another way where how these celebrities get cancelled. We just form things in our heads as people, and we just wonder, oh, what's haibo? And I'm sure as celebrities, they're always asking themselves, who are these people? Who do they think they are? And sometimes these people apologize in public. They don't even need to apologize for anything, because now we just create these things in our head, right? And if you check, it's not true. However, mass media does all these things and cancels all these celebrities. Like I mentioned, we are a mass media. We are people who just want to cancel, and cancel. In conclusion, I would like to say, to a certain extent, we are hypocrites to cancel culture, because we all make mistakes, guys. How many things have you done? And probably you didn't get cancelled because you're not a public figure. Sometimes I feel like public figure or not public figure, we are all human beings. We make mistakes. There's certain, because what you did yesterday, that was terrible. Someone else who is a public figure can do it and still get cancelled, but you won't get cancelled. And people forget that these people have emotions, they have feelings, and they do get hurt by some of the words that you say. I mean, you go on Instagram and you see people's bios written positive vibes only, God first. However, we are out here crucifying people for their mistakes, right? There are certain mistakes that can be forgiven. Redemption culture. We don't always have to cancel people for the things that they have to do. So there's actually like a verse in the Bible, Matthew chapter 7 from verse 3 to 5. It says, "Why do you see the speck that is in your brother's eye, but do not notice the log that's in your own eye? Or how can you say to your brother, 'Let me take the speck out of your eye,' when there is a log in your own eye? You hypocrite, first take out the log out of your own eye, and then you can see clearly to take the speck out of your brother's eye." Many of us like to see other people's mistakes, we like to see other people's faults, and yet we don't even look at ourselves first. That's what it means in a nutshell. You want to take out someone's wrongdoings or expose them or correct them or criticize them, and yet you still have your own problems, your own hypocrite tendencies or your toxic traits. So that's what it means. And I just feel like, guys, to a certain extent, I said, yes, there's certain people who do deserve to be cancelled, especially if they discriminate people, like body shaming or racial discriminations and all those kind of things. But if it's just something, like a normal thing or like a minor mistake, why go out there and create noise for someone's reputation, for someone's self-esteem to be deteriorated? So I hope you guys understood, and I hope you guys basically understood what cancel culture is all about. I just felt the importance of just sharing it and just creating awareness. As usual, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like or to share. You guys can comment your thoughts about cancel culture. If you guys feel like maybe there's more to say about cancel culture, go ahead, let me know. So don't forget, guys, to check out SHONARISH. I'm gonna put every single thing in the description, where you can get them, the Instagram page, how you guys can order, and how you can communicate with the brand. Trust me, it is a brand that you wanna get to, and just get you, African prints for the ladies who are getting married. If you guys have like a traditional wedding, SHONARISH is the go-to. So thank you guys for listening, and see you guys next time. Bye.